Hello and welcome back to the Freedom Series. I am so excited to be back here with you for day 2 of the Freedom Series, Quantum Leap Your Results in Lockdown. Guys, I hope that you are here, you are ready, because today is all about your goals, your growth, and really you being the best version of you. I'm super excited to be back. I hope that you are. And anybody that is here in the portal, thank you for being here. Leave your comments below. There's a comments box right below here underneath this video, and you can let us know what your thoughts are, any questions that you have. In fact, there's even a question panel at the right hand side, or it could be the left. I'm not sure what it looks like from your end, but there's a question box. Put your questions in. I want everybody who has signed up to this free, incredible value and content to get every last drop, okay? I am here to serve you. For anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Kim Calvert. I'm a high performance mentor specializing in helping people take quantum leaps in their performance, in their results. That could be finances, health, relationships, doesn't matter. I always say, you know, I'm not going to go out and decide who I think should have this material. I believe everybody should have this material because it completely changed my life. Now, if you're wondering what this material is, I work with Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor is one of the last living legends of our time that has been studying human performance and success for the longest. There is no other human being on this planet that has ever studied it more or is still alive, okay? So Mr. Bob Proctor is my personal friend and mentor, and I'm his #1 global consultant, helping people close the gap from where they are to where they truly want to be. Now, I'm going to guess that you are here for a purpose. You want to understand how to get more out of life, how to really start to live a life by design instead of default. And that's what we're here to talk about. So yesterday, if you caught day 1, whether you're in the Facebook group or the portal, day 1 yesterday was all about understanding the mind, understanding, well, what is mindset? What is freedom? And this Freedom Series is totally designed for you listening right now who has either been in personal development for a while, or maybe you're just, you know, dipping your toes in the pond thinking there's gotta be a better way. And I am telling you now, guys, there is. But I also understand that there are going to be some people that, you know, this is new, this is different, this is thinking outside the box. But if you study any of the top performers in the world from any industry, doesn't matter where they're from, they all think differently. And that's because success all comes down to mindset. Okay, so yesterday, I want to do a bit of a recap on yesterday, and then today what we're going to jump into is looking at what is your purpose, what is your vision, and what are your goals. Now, this is a very important topic for you getting either unstuck or moving dramatically in a different direction towards the attainment of what you truly desire. Now, I also want to really get you guys to understand, when I say stuck, I am not putting you down. I am not criticizing you. I kind of play like devil's advocate. I see the best in people because I know that everybody has unlimited potential. I know also that a lot of people don't really believe that. I mean, it's really easy to say that about somebody else. But when you start to think about yourself, and maybe that was just me, I always thought that that's for other people. Sure, I'm just a girl from Northern Ireland. Who could make this happen? I didn't have goals. I was wandering through life. I was drifting. And that's really today what I want to get you really zoomed in on. What are you doing? Where are you going? And it's not because I'm trying to really get you to think about changing anything that's in your life, but I want you to basically yeah, I know. Sorry, somebody's coming in and annoying me. You need to tell people to clear off when I'm doing lives. I know you can see me on a small screen. Don't panic. I'm not important here today, okay? What is important is about you, so please just listen. So when I say you're stuck, I'm not criticizing you. What I mean by that is everybody is performing at a certain level in life. A certain level in business, a certain level in relationships, a certain level in health and fitness, We're all on a level. So everybody can actually get stuck. It doesn't mean that you are not good enough. It doesn't mean anything. It just means actually there's always more. Okay. So I work with clients who are stuck at 7 figures. I work with clients who are stuck at 5 figures. Okay. It doesn't matter where you are. The same process, the same scientific methodology works for everybody every time if you know how to apply it. And that's what I've dedicated my life to, really helping people understand how to use this information. Because I'm sure you've got books, you've watched YouTube, you've done all of these things, but actually sometimes we're still not getting any better of results. And that's because it's not about the books. It's not about how many podcasts you listen to. It's not about any of those things. It's about how you can take this information and put it into your subconscious mind so that you integrate it with your belief system, with your behaviors. That's when results will start to change. So I'm super excited to go through that with you today. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to my chart. You will know from yesterday, I love drawing, I love writing, and it's the way that I feel that I'm able to communicate with you, the audience, in a much better way. So I want you to get your pens and your papers out. Whether you're watching on Facebook or in the portal, leave comments, give us your feedback. I will look at that later on, and then I'll be able to really pivot and help you. My job is to help people waking up one thought at a time, okay? So this is your chance to start to really redefine how you see yourself, how you see the world. And as we said yesterday, your attitude to life will always be life's attitude to you. Okay. So yesterday, what did we go over? Very short recap, and then we'll get into today's session. First thing that we talked about yesterday was that success, no matter where it is or how it comes about or what industry it's in, or could be sports, success is 95% mindset, 5% strategy. Now that is so critical to burn into your mind, because we live in a world that is living through circumstances and conditions, firefighting, okay, reacting. So there's a lot of that going on right now, and I'm sure you have experienced this. I certainly, when I was nursing, I experienced this. You're running around, you're trying to chase your tail, you're trying to get things done. And ultimately, a lot of the time, and this is, very widely researched and shown, human beings are not really tapping into their potential. And you know what? We complain that we're too tired, we've no time, we're too busy. And yet, it's because we keep going on that autopilot that we never get to stop and go, hold on a minute. Is this really working out for me? Is this really what I want? Am I really happy with how I'm trading my time? Because a lot of you, are trading our lives for what we do. I'm trading my life for what I do. But I love what I do. That's the difference. And I don't believe that you believe that you were brought into this world to just work hard. So what we've got to realize is success in anything is actually 95% mindset, 5% strategies. So right now, wherever you're at, business, life, you might be trying to go out and try other new strategies. You might be even depending on old strategies that worked in 2020. And like I said yesterday, that will just no longer work. We've got to create a new model that makes the old model obsolete. And because of the change that we're going through right now as a nation, as an entire world, we've got to actually adopt a new way of thinking, a new way of working. And if we don't, I truly believe we'll get left behind. We'll get lost. You will get caught up in the masses, and that is going to keep you relatively stuck and performing at the same level as you're working at. And I don't want that for you. Okay. So I want you to come to this and be really open, because I say it as it is. I don't sugarcoat things because I care that much. All right. That's simply it. I am a product of this. I have lived it. I am obsessed with what I do. I'm obsessed with helping my clients. Last night when I was teaching my clients, We spent nearly 38 minutes talking about wins. Clients were like, I've tripled my income. I have doubled this. I've been able to improve my relationship. In fact, one lady, it was awesome. She's only been doing Thinking and Results for 2 weeks. And last night she was like, I just heard my 2 little sons, who are twins, they were kind of squabbling with each other. And one of them was just like, well, how do you want to see this? What way could this work out? Now, why I particularly love those wins is because this stuff, you are impacting your kids. Whatever you're doing from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, you are impacting your kids with what you say, with what you do, with how you react, with how you respond. Kids at home right now are getting soaked up with outside circumstances and conditions, but you're no different. I was no different. I was brought up with certain beliefs and certain, that's just how it was. You went to school, you get a good education, you settle down, pay your taxes, and maybe start a family, and then eventually die. I don't believe that's what life's about. I truly believe that we're all here for a purpose. I truly believe that there is something that we are here to do. And I think you know it, and I think you feel it. I don't think that everybody is super clear on it. And honestly, I don't know if we ever really are. Because when you start to grow, you start to expand. So you start to become more creative. You're tapping into creative energy that honestly, see, once you get that momentum going, you're going to be creating and creating and creating. Like, I have an entire room next door to me in my office, and it's just full of whiteboards, and I'm just constantly dumping stuff out of my mind onto the boards. I live in a very prosperous environment. I always am trying to think on those higher levels. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I have bad days too. I cry. I get grumpy. I feel. I mean, that's life. Not everything is always going to go how you want it to go. And if it did, life would be very boring. So yesterday, what we were really showing you was that, unfortunately, most of the time, we are living out of autopilot. Now, what does that look like? Because the big thing of yesterday was I wanted to give you a picture of what your mind looks like. Right now, you might have felt or be feeling experiences where you feel frustrated, confused, like you feel overwhelmed. I think you know what I'm talking about. Just that feeling of, I always used to describe my mind like a tab on an Explorer page on the internet. 50,000 tabs open, okay? In fact, I want you to go and look at your computer after this and see, is there evidence in your environment that there is confusion in the mind? I'll tell you one good place to look, your car. Now, maybe you haven't been out in your car in a wee while, but people who have messy cars, people who have messy houses, people who have messy desktops, people who have just mess in their lives tend to be very creative, but not very organized. And that's where confusion and frustration sets in to us. And then because we're so obsessed with strategy instead of mindset, we're constantly just trying to keep above board. It's kind of like a duck. It looks like it's gliding, but underneath it's just chaos, all right? Now, what if we could flip that on its head? What if you could start 95% actually being ease, flow, joy, calmness of mind? I hope for you that have been in the portal, go and read the article that I popped in yesterday. You'll find that in day one. So go and read that. James Allen talked about serenity, calmness of mind is the jewel of wisdom. So the first thing in being able to create mental order and calmness, because you need that before you start thinking about goals. It does not surprise me that if our lives are really, really busy, and then somebody like me comes along and goes, what's your goal? What are you going to do with your life? You're like, go away, I'm busy. I don't know. When I get all of this stuff started, maybe I'll think about goals. And that's why we never think about them. Okay. So the mind, this funny looking picture, if you weren't here yesterday, you definitely want to go and watch the replay. But this little picture, this circle that you can see, this represents the mind. Okay. The little one at the bottom is your body. Now, why that's important, and this I hope will really resonate with you. You are not your name. You're not your title. You're not your body. That's not who you are. Like if I said to you right now, if I was to take your name away, your title, maybe it's mom, dad, plumber, policeman, I don't know what your title is. If we took that away from you and I said to you, who are you? Would you be able to give me a good answer? Or does that kind of make you go, I'm not sure. It might even make you feel sad. It might make you feel annoyed. It might make you feel, oh, I want to figure out. I don't know what it makes you feel. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter. If you don't have a good answer for that question, then you're missing out on the best part of life. And I honestly mean that with every cell in my body. Because the day that I realized who I was the day that I created freedom in my life. And that's what the Freedom Series is all about. It's not about the money. It's not about the car. It's not about the titles. It's not about any of that stuff. Now, I'm not dissing that stuff. I think that stuff is absolutely your right to have. But what I truly am interested in and committed to doing for the rest of my life is helping people realize who they are so that they can start maximizing their potential, bringing that greatness to the surface that you already have. Like, this is the best part about it. In fact, it's borderline annoying when somebody like me says, oh, you have it all within you. Absolutely, sometimes really frustrating because we don't understand that. So this drawing will be able to give you some ability to see yourself differently, because the mind works in pictures. I want everybody on this call right now to think about a very tall building in France. Okay, you've got it. Excellent. I want you to think about, what's that animal we always say that's in the room that we don't want to think about? Okay, you've got that picture too. If I said, think of one of those little balls that you play in a sport. It's white and it's got little dimples all over it. Okay, so you all, as I speak, hopefully got the Eiffel Tower, the elephant in the room, and hopefully got the golf ball. I kind of made that one up on the spot. But my point is, you didn't think B-A-L-L. You didn't think and spell out Eiffel Tower. You seen it in your mind. And that, believe it or not, is hugely important to investigate. Because if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. That is the meaning of this vibration above my head. When you start to tap into your mind, you can start to create things. But your mind works in images. So when you feel frustrated and you feel like you're reacting to everything that's going on, or you just don't feel like totally in control, and you don't understand your mind and you don't have a picture for your mind, well, that's going to cause more frustration. So this picture is going to help you over these next days that we're together to really understand at a much deeper level how you work, okay? So let me do a quick recap. Large circle is the mind, small circle is the body. Now we break up the mind into two parts. Oh, but not with the rubber. That's very important. Okay, here's the mind. We're going to slice that in half. All right. Now, the reason that we're doing that is because you have what we call a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. We talked about this yesterday. Your consciousness, like you're consciously watching me right now. You consciously are listening to me now. Okay. So your consciousness is where you think. Okay. Really simple. Your consciousness is also connected to the outside world. And it's connected through 5 senses. I think you'll agree to that. Okay, we've got sight, hearing, taste, touch, smell. But then we have another part of our being, of our mind, and that's called the subconscious. And this is where we feel. Okay, that's what we call the emotional mind. That's where your emotions are sitting. All right, and then the body. This body that you're in is just an expression of your mind. Okay, think about that for a while. The body you're in is just an expression of your mind. This is why it's a double bonus when you work on your mind and work on yourself. so many of my clients, having come through Thinking into Results, have released a lot of body weight by simply actually just focusing on what they want, going after their goals. Because, and I come from a nutritional and sports background as well, and I know that when you're stressed, when you're worried, when you're not living life on your terms, we tend to fall into patterns of eating not the best foods, not wanting to exercise, maybe not even eating, maybe overeating, maybe habitually eating. There's so many things, and it's all, again, mindset. So that's just a double bonus that happens when you start to work on you from the inside out. So we think, we feel, and then we go out and we do. Okay? Now, what I was teaching you yesterday is that these parts of the mind are really quite different. Okay? The conscious part that I'm talking about here on the top, this controls 2 to 4% of what you actually do. Okay? Only 2 to 4%. That's not very much. Then we've got the subconscious mind. That's where your emotions sit. And it controls 96 to 98% of everything that you actually do. So what I'm saying is this subconscious mind controls your habits, your beliefs, your perceptions, your decisions, and your actions. Now, when you think about those things, your decisions, your actions, your beliefs, your habits, they're pretty important things when it comes to achieving success. And that's what we're here to talk about. I'm not interested in just, making you a wee bit happier. That's not what my game is. My game as a high performance mentor is helping you get to extraordinary levels and heights of success. And you mightn't think that that's possible for you. I know it is. Now, I'm not going to get into an argument with you. I know it because I've seen it firsthand with myself, firsthand with my friends, firsthand with hundreds of clients that I've worked with over the last couple of years. And I never think or choose, because it's not my place to choose. I believe that if it resonates with you, you'll connect with it. And if you really are committed to wanting to create a life of freedom and you're willing to do what it takes, then we can achieve that in a very, very short period of time. So it really always comes down to you wanting more and being okay with that. All right. So the recap from yesterday is 2 to 4% is what we consciously think. And then really what takes over, and I like to call it autopilot, is, I can't spell when I'm typing. So when we take action, okay, this is so important. When you go out and take an action on something, doesn't matter what it is, you might think in your head, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. But what actually kind of kicks in like automatic is your habits and your beliefs and how you normally do things. So here's an example. I work a lot with teams, companies, corporations, and businesses spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds from training their staff to do better, okay? To do more, to know more, to do more. And what happens is, and I'm sure you've done it because I've been on courses for sure, where you go off for the day, you've got the day out of work, you're like, happy days, I'll do the training, no problem. You go to the training, you get taught, you got to do it this way, this way, this way, and this way. Okay, Kim, you going to do that? Yeah, no problem, I'm going to do that. Then you go back into the office or go back into your work and you're like, well, I might just do it my way. And you might stick to the protocol for a day or two, but then you go straight back into doing it how you've always done it. Maybe you're always sleeping in and you eventually start to go, no, I'm going to get up. This is it. I'm doing it. And you might be getting up for a few days, but after a couple of days, you're right back into the same routine. Maybe you made decisions at the start of this year. You're going to do things differently. And I hope you have. But I just want you to notice, is there anything that actually has just went right back into the same kind of daily Groundhog Day? And I'm pointing it out not to hurt you. I'm pointing it out because it is essential that you kind of go, right, I'm going to take responsibility. My results are a direct reflection. Always remember, results in life, and that's what we're interested in. Whether it's finances, health, relationships, feeling alive, energy, whatever it is, our results in life are a direct reflection to our conditioned way of thinking. Now, we're going to go into that pretty deep tomorrow, but I wanted to recap on this to really get you to remember how this works. And then what we talked about yesterday is your attitude. Our attitude is the composite of our thoughts, feelings, and what our actions are. That's what's creating our results in life. So you've really got to say to yourself, what are my results telling me? Because today is all about purpose, goals, and vision. And you've got to first, before you ever take off on a journey somewhere, you got to first know where you are. So I really pose to you guys watching, start today to really start to ask yourself, what are my finances like? What is my relationship like? What is my health like? You know, what is my business like? Or career, wherever you are. Maybe you're in kind of no man's land right now. I'm wondering what to do. I want you to get super honest with your results, because I'm telling you now, whether you like it or not, whether you like me or not, whatever is showing out here is a direct reflection to what is showing in here. Always. I mean, this is just quantum physics. We can't change it. It is how the mind works. But what I get really excited about is, and think about this, if we now know and we accept that all of our results in life, the things that we have, the experiences we have, are a direct reflection to what's going on in the subconscious mind, then it would stand to reason, if we rewired the subconscious mind and we updated your habits, your beliefs, your self-confidence, your financial thermostat, all of these things are living in your subconscious mind. If you don't believe me, you look at the amount of money you've been earning over the last 5 years. It's always kind of the same. There may be some ups, there may be some downs, but predominantly there's an average. Even when we are in, wanting to go to the gym and get fit, because we still hold a belief that, well, I'm not good enough and I am fat. Like I used to call myself fat all the time, like really quite badly. And yes, consciously I was going, okay, I'm going to get fit, and I was going to the gym. But you know what? And maybe this has happened to you. I got stuck at a figure. And it didn't matter what I did at the gym. It didn't matter what I didn't eat. I got stuck at a certain figure. Why? Because we are all programmed at a subconscious level in all of these sections. You're programmed to earn what you earn. You're programmed to go around in the same, cycles in your relationship, whether that's good or bad. How many times have you had an argument with your other half and you agree it'll be different next time, and it isn't? I mean, I've done that. I'll put my hand up. That has happened. Okay. There's been plenty of relationships I've been in and I knew I shouldn't have been in them, but I stayed in them. Why? Fear, self-confidence, all the usual stuff. But I can look back now and go, wow, that was my mindset that was keeping me stuck. It's my mindset that is keeping me in a mental prison that I didn't even know I was in. So I want you to realize that whatever is going on in the subconscious part of your mind is a reflection of what comes in the outside. Thoughts turn into things. That is just science. Now, as I said, if we know that, we accept that, this is where the excitement comes from. You can change the subconscious mind. You can change how you see things, how you do things at a deep, deep level, the subconscious level. Do you know what that means? It means the change will be permanent. How many times do you feel that you have been reacting to life? And do you know what happens when we react? We are doing that out of habit. You don't even mean to react. There could be somebody out here and, let's say there's 10 people say, you are amazing. That was so good. But then one person comes along and goes, no, you're not all that. Which one do you listen to, the 10 or the 1? I'm going to guess a lot of you are saying 1. Comment in the chat box on both the Dynamite Effect and in the portal here. Let me know. Let me know if this resonates. Is this making sense to you? Because if you did pick the 1, well, we can logically, consciously go, but look, there's 10 people said you were great. 1 said you weren't. Why would you think the 1? Why? Because you feel it. You have a belief system that you're not all that. So when you hear it, it resonates because this part of your mind is in control. So when you hear that, even though there was 10 positive thoughts, you heard the 1, you thought a negative thought. Oh yeah, I really am not that. And then that thought, as I explained yesterday, turns into a negative feeling. Then the negative feeling, and I explained this, is energy is feeling. Feelings and energies are the same. Emotions, energy and motion. So that has to leave the body. It sometimes is suppressed on the body. That's where we gain weight, we gain back problems, bowel problems, loads of problems, okay? But it's stimulated because of our mind. So this feeling then moves to the body, and what we said yesterday, it sets up a negative vibration. Now don't worry too much about the technique of the, it's not overly complicated, but vibration is just how you feel. So if you're in a good mood, you're in a good vibration. If you're in a low mood, you're in a low vibration. So this energy moves to your body. Now let's just pretend this person was going for a job interview, for an example, okay? And there's loads of other people going for the job interview. And they all have the same credentials. They all have the same exams, let's just say. And you walk in and you take the same action as everybody else. Who gets the job? Well, if you know, and I'm sure you've been in interviews, the panel always, as soon as you walk out that door, the panel looks at each other and they go, what did you think of that person? Not what was the answers on the sheet, not how many GCSEs did they get. And this is why, this is maybe a little bit controversial, but if you're at home with your kids and your kids aren't getting education, it is what it is. We can't change it. I want you to focus on what's good about that. I want you to focus on how you can actually give your kids a even better education. Because I'm telling you now, people do not become successful because of what's on a card or what exams that they've got in school. I know, because I was rubbish. I'm dyslexic. I don't know my times tables. I admit to all of that, but yet I can create incredible results in my life because I understand that it's not about education. Education is important, but it's not the most important thing. Education sits in the conscious mind. It's not a feeling, it's information. So let's say this person is at the interview and they go in, well, they're going to be going in with this negative energy. They might wear the same outfit. They might say the same things. They might have went to the same university and got the same degrees. But at the end of the day, the person that will get the job is the person that had the best attitude. If you watch like programs like Strictly Come Dancing or Britain's Got Talent or anything like that, you notice the judges, they always talk about attitude. And it's because that's what really matters in life. It's the energy that you're giving off as a person. So in this situation, this person heard 10 people say they're great. They zoned in on the one person. That thought turned into a negative feeling. That feeling goes out in the body. So when that person goes into the interview, even though they're saying all the right things, the energy behind the action is not what they want. It's not in harmony with what they want. And what I said yesterday is what goes out must come back by the law of cause and effect. So this is where this is so important. You can get ahead in life and take a quantum leap by just simply knowing it's not really about the strategy. It's about you. And you know what? That's great news because only you can fix you. And you're not even broken. You're just not operating at the level that you're capable of. Okay. So I really wanted to kind of give you that. So in life, you're either reacting or responding. If you're living through your senses and you're going by everything that you see, that is not going to lead you in a good place. You react, you give your power away. You respond, that's when you start to think. That's when you start to really come from this mindset instead of autopilot. Okay. So today, what we're going to talk about then is you're the creator of your reality. That is just simply it. Because if you know that your subconscious mind is creating all of this, then this is where I help people reverse engineer from what they want. Really sit and think about that for 1 second. If we know that our results are a direct reflection to how we're thinking at a subconscious level, then why do we not just reverse it? Why not start to think differently? Why not start to reprogram the subconscious mind? Because you know what will happen? Your results will go up. This is what happened to me. This is what's happening clients all over the world. Whether they're coaching with me or with Bob or with anybody else, I don't really care who you go to. And it's kind of strange sometimes to say that, but I know my purpose is to help people. So the people that I'm supposed to help will always show up. You're here right now. And that's the key. This isn't about me. This isn't about things. This is about you living your purpose. Okay. Now, let's get on to purpose, because purpose is something that I find a lot of people don't always have a great answer to. Okay. And a big part of that is because it's not taught at school. You know, your mom and dad probably didn't know what their purpose was, so they're going to have taught you how to find your purpose and all the rest of it. And really, I believe that your purpose is something you discover. I do not believe that you're walking down the street someday and suddenly somebody taps you in the shoulder and goes, "Hello, I'm your purpose. Let's go to work." That doesn't happen. Okay. You discover your purpose. Now, if you're going to discover your purpose, that would imply that you're on a journey. And if you're on a journey, that would imply that you've started the journey. So if you're here today and you're like, "I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I want," I would probably say there's your problem. You've been saying to yourself for probably years, "I don't know." Now, anything that you repeat to yourself over and over and over and over and over with emotion turns into a fact every time. Thoughts create things. So if you also don't know what you want, then it tells me you do know. Because what I shared yesterday was that everything in this world has an opposite. If there's a problem, there's a solution. If there's lack, there can be abundance. Okay? So if you don't know, you do know. We've just got to start changing our thinking, changing the lens in which we're looking at, so that's your perception, and start to ask better questions. Now, I truly believe that the number one thing that we've got to realize from the outset, and this was huge for me, is that we are actually God's highest form of creation. And this is not about religion. I don't really say I'm religious. I say I'm spiritual. I believe in God, and I believe that we are all here and we're spirits living in a physical body. That is what we are. That's just my opinion. That is how it is. Okay. We are an energy living in a physical body. Okay. When the spirit leaves the body stays here, the spirit moves on. Okay. So right now, if you're living and breathing, which I hope you are, if you're watching this, you're a spirit living in a body. But if you don't know who you are, and you don't know that you're a spirit, and you don't know that actually you're God's highest form of creation, have unlimited potential, you could be quite accustomed to just doing what everybody else does around you. This is why 97% of the population do not have goals. That's a big number. 97% of the population do not have goals. 3% of the population are making it happen. Now, do you know what happens there? The 97 don't like the 3%, and the 3% are too busy to even think about the 97%. And what I know, and what I believe, and what I see for you is you've got a choice. You always have a choice. See, even when you think you're stuck in a corner and, oh, this pandemic is, changing things. No, it's not. I do not buy into that. It's definitely making an impact, but it's our choice and our attitude that decides how that impact is going to play out. I say that with absolute confidence because the clients that we work with over this last 8 months or so have all quantum leaped their goals. We've got people earning 51,000 a month. We've got people, one of my one-to-one clients started with me on about 38,000 a month. And she's now right up to going to hit 200 grand this month. And that's monthly. Now I have also other clients who are just wanting to earn 5 grand a month, 10 grand a month. Have you even considered that for yourself? And you might sit and go, well, it's not about the money. It is about the money. Money's important. And we're doing a whole day on money. When will that be? Friday, I think. So forget about just the money for a second. I just want you to think, do you know why you're on this planet? And if you don't, that's okay. Don't be afraid of it. Because I'm going to make it really simple. Your purpose on this planet is to create. Because you are a creator. You have got creative faculties in your mind that allow you to create. So your purpose in life is why you're here. And usually why you're here is to give more to others, help other people on their journey. You got to remember, it's never about getting. Setting goals, achieving is never about what you get. Please know that. You will get stuff, and I want you to have the nice car, the nice home, the good bank balance, but those are byproducts. They're just effects because you set up the cause within you. So I really feel that freedom really comes from understanding who you are at a deep level. I mean, we don't have loads of time to go through this today. I'm just giving you these little nuggets to think about. So your purpose is to create. Your purpose is why you're here. Now, your vision is an expression of your purpose. Okay, so let's think about this. Your purpose is to create. Now, you might say, create what? Anything. An artist creates through painting. A musician creates through music. You might want to create a course. You might want to create a new product. You might want to create, I don't know. I don't know what you want to create, but you do. And even if you're not consciously aware right now, then the question is, are you prepared to discover it by doing some work on you? Because that's the only way that you can do it. Literally the only way that you can do it is by deciding, I'm going to go on that journey. I'm committed to figuring out what this life's all about. Okay? Then your vision in life is the expression of your purpose. Okay? And what that means is, like, you think about me, my purpose is to waken people up one thought at a time. My purpose is to help people really get true fulfillment and happiness from life, to really be a fuller, expansive and expression of themselves. Now, I can do that in any shape or form. How I chose to express that is through my company, Dynamite Lifestyle, is through programs like this, the Freedom Series. I'm expressing ways and I build a vision for myself. So when it comes to 2021, I plan my year. I'm always planning, what can I do? How can I give more? How can I be more? It's not about having more. It's not even about doing more. It's about being more and giving more. That's where true fulfillment and happiness comes from. Okay? Now, your goal is basically a bite out of that. Okay, so I'm a big believer in setting 90-day kind of goals. I've worked that started this year. We got all of our clients, hundreds of people, and I really help them engineer from the purpose, build the vision, and then take a bit of the goal and start to chunk it down. So I help people reverse engineer this stuff. You tell me what you want, I'll show you how to get it. That's simply how we do this. So your goal is just a bite out of the apple. I always explain it to my clients like you're climbing up a mountain, okay? And you want to get to the top of that mountain, but you got to go a quarter way up. You got to go halfway up. And for a lot of people, when you try to just focus on the top of the mountain, it makes it so much harder. I don't know if you've been climbing any mountains recently, but there's a mountain here in Northern Ireland that I climbed, and my goodness, I was not looking at the top of it because it just seemed to be the same distance away. You should ask my PA Naomi about how she felt about it. She loved that trip. So you do it in stages. Now, I'm not saying that you take incremental steps. I don't believe in incremental steps. I believe that if this goal at the top of the mountain is huge, and we call that a C-type goal, then even getting to here is a huge jump. Imagine like a goal, imagine earning your annual income in a month. Imagine doing that. You can do that. You may not know how to do that, but it doesn't mean that it's not possible. Like, I don't know how to fix the plumbing in a house. I am not a plumber. I wouldn't have the foggy notion how to do it. So does that mean I don't believe that it's possible to plumb a house? No. I believe that I can't do it and an expert can do it. It's the exact same thing when it comes to mindset. But because this is relatively new and people are only starting to take it seriously, we're just not sure. But it's the exact same. I'm an expert in the mind. I'm an expert in human performance. You're not. That's okay. But you've got to seek out some experts. You couldn't decide to climb up a mountain if you'd done no training. If it was a really big mountain. And would you even know how to train for that? Probably not. So you go and find an expert. Okay? So your goal is a bite out of your vision. So the question is, what do you want? And this is where I want you to spend the rest of today thinking about, what is it that you want? It's never about needs. When you think about needs, you're just thinking on how to get by. You're the highest form of creation. You, us human beings. And what I want you to realize is you have the same potential as I do. You have the same potential as anybody in this world. And I know you can feel it. So you've got to ask yourself, are you willing to do what it takes to bring that to the surface? Or are you content getting the same results year in and year out? I don't think that that's a great way to live. You can if you want, but I don't think it's the answer. So you've really got to ask yourself, what do I want? And you've got to give yourself the space to ask that question. You can't ask that question when you're homeschooling and trying to manage everything. But the problem is we put all of that stuff in front and we don't put any time on us. And actually, who's that really helping in the long term? Now, when it comes to goals, there are 3 different types of goals that you can have, okay? There is an A-type goal. There is a B-type goal, and there is a C-type goal. This is what we teach individuals, and this is what Bob taught me. And when Bob first taught me to understand goals, the first thing he said is, Kim, a goal is never to get. A goal's purpose is to grow. So you're either growing in life or you're dying. Why is that? Because you're energy. You are energy, and energy can't be created or destroyed. It moves from one form to another. And in this world, I think it was Abraham Maslow confirmed this, you're either moving forward or you're moving backwards. You're either going out and really, going for your goals, or you're stepping back into safety. And the big reason why most people fail and why there's only 3% winning is because we set the wrong goals. We don't understand goals. So an A-type goal is a goal that you already know how to do. You've done it before. Now, if you go and set a goal that you already know how to do, there is not very much growth attached. And if there's not much growth attached, you're not even going to be motivated to do it. So a lot of people fail right out the gate because they set an A-type goal that they've already done. They already know how to do it. And your insides are going, what's the point? You've been there. You've got the t-shirt. You don't need to do that. You've done it before. Okay? So that is not a goal that I want you to go for. Now, a B-type goal is a goal that you think you can achieve. Now, that's like the typical business plan. If I do this and they do this and I do that, we put it all together, boom, this is what we're going to have. Now, it's definitely so much better than an A-type goal, but it's still kind of safe. It's playing the safety card. For any of you guys out there that are more left brain dominant and you're very analytical and you like to know how everything pans out, you're going to love B-type goals, okay? But it's not bringing the best of you to the surface. The great people in this world and history that have created incredible things didn't know how they were going to do it. The Wright brothers did not know how they were going to get up in the air. Hillary did not know how he was going to get to the top of the mountain. Edison didn't know how he was going to create light. Henry Ford didn't know how he was going to create the Model T. And all of those people have very little, if any, education. But you know what they did have? They had a fantasy goal. They had a dream. They had a desire. They had a vision. And they didn't let go of it. And they didn't listen to people who said they couldn't do it. They didn't listen to people when they said you're stupid. Do you know, I think it was Edison was actually a little boy at school. He had learning difficulties. And the teachers wrote his mother a letter and said, basically, this school is not right for your son. He needs special schooling. Now, what Edison's mum did was she read the letter and she changed it in her mind. And when she read the letter to Edison, she said, you are such a special little boy. In fact, you're so special, I'm going to teach you at home. Now, what a difference that will make to the subconscious mind of a child. Because everything's going in. The subconscious mind has no ability to reject. That's why when we're kids, it's real easy to fantasize. It's real easy to have imaginary friends. Do you know why? Because we aren't conditioned yet with that can't work. That's going to be hard. You're going to be too busy. You have no time. When we grow up as adults, unfortunately, we become more conditioned from the outside. And yet what we should all be learning is to live from the inside out. That's where true freedom comes from. So I want you to think between today and tomorrow, what is it that you truly want? This is going to stretch you. And that's going to give you big growth. Okay? If you've got weak desires, you're going to get weak results. If you've got strong desires, you're going to have strong growth. So I want you to think between today and tomorrow, what do you truly desire? What is it that you really want? I want you to think about, and by the way, guys, this is fun. I don't want this to give you a sore head. I want you to just pretend, because sometimes playing with this and pretending will shut up the little voice in your head that says, this is ludicrous. You can't have anything you want. Yeah, you can. Okay? Flat out, yes, you can. If you want to debate over it, great. Ask me questions. Put it in the question box. I love helping people with this. So you've got to ask yourself, do you have a goal? What are you striving for? What are you going to do in the first 90 days and first quarter of this year? Do you know what are you going to achieve this month? What are you going to achieve next month? Do you have the next quarters kind of panned out? Or are you just floating day to day on idle moods, on whatever's happening outside of you? That is a shortcut to a very stressful and unhappy life. Without a goal, you're lost. You coast. That's what happens. You actually coast at this level as well. Why? Because it's not really stretching you. So we get bored. We get demotivated. But when you go for something that is massive, that seems crazy, that your friends and family think you have lost the plot, then you're on to a C-type goal. I remember being like the last couple of days of nursing, I just went, I'm quitting. I'm going to start a multi-million-pound company. I'm going to work all over the world. I'm going to speak on stages. I'm going to, live in my dream home. I always wanted a dream home. I wanted a dream car. And I had all these, I went for it. I wasn't holding back. I was like, I want a Ferrari 488 Spider. I want a dream home by the beach. I want to have a villa in Spain. And a lot of people could think, oh, that's, it's all about getting. No, it's not. Because most people go after those things because they think in the having of them, they're going to feel better. And we've got it upside down. You've got to feel good without those things if you're ever going to attract them into your life. So it's not about the things, it's about how you feel about you. It's about you working in harmony with who you are. And you are a spirit, which is energy, and energy always wants to grow and expand. And when we start going backwards, when we start putting ourselves down, when we start, falling into negative habits that aren't working for us, that's where the friction comes from, because it's not in harmony with the real you. Like, fine, right? There's some things you do, and even in your own head, you're going, why am I doing this? So it's almost like there's these two little people, like little devil and little angel. I want you to listen to your highest version of you. So I want you tonight or today to just imagine, I want you to lift a pen and paper, and I want you just to imagine it's a magic wand. And forget about what you think is possible. I want you to think beyond where you've gone before. I want you to sit and think, if I could have anything in my life, what would I choose? If I had a magic wand and I could just go bing, 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 what would you do? How much money would you love to earn? What would you love your body to look like? How would you want your relationships to be? Where would you travel? Where would you live? What would you drive? How would you feel? What impact would you make? All of these things. What could you do for others? That is your homework for today, to go and actually write that down. Now, if you just listen to me and you don't go and write it down, there's very little I can do. The key to making this work is to do exactly what I say. Not because I just want you to do what I say and I'm being a teacher. I'm doing it because I know, because that's what I did. I was running around saying, I'm going to do all of these things. Everybody laughed at me. Everybody just said, oh, Kim, catch yourself on. Like, the nurses in my hospital were like, okay, yep, that's great. Just get her out the door. It was ludicrous. It was crazy. Who am I from Belfast, Northern Ireland, to say I'm going to do all these things? But I dared to say it. I said it on the inside. I said it on the outside. I had no idea. I didn't know how. You don't know how, but you don't need to. That's another annoying thing that people can say. But how am I going to do that? If you knew how, you'd be doing it. So don't be shocked that you don't know how. You're not supposed to. But I can show you how, because somebody showed me. And all I want to do is share it with you so that you can really start to create a life of your choosing. You have choice. No matter what, nobody's forcing you to do anything. So you've got to ask yourself, isn't it about time that you just pause and you start to think about you? And you don't have to believe in yourself. You don't have to have all the details. That will all come. See, right now you're operating with a mindset at a certain level. And your goal, if it's a C-type goal, is going to be at a whole different level. So you can't possibly know the how, because your mindset hasn't changed yet. This is why I'm so passionate at helping people change their thoughts from the inside, because then it shows on the outside. It's incredible, and it's working for people just like you. You're not this oddball that suddenly this doesn't work for. It works for anybody that wants it. But you've got to want it. That's the key. So tonight, I want you to go. I want you to think about what you're going to do, what you really want. Share it with your family. Ask your partner, ask your kids, play it as a game, make it a family game. Get some paper out, crayons, whatever you want to do, and just pretend. Be a kid again, because that is the start of the creative process. As silly and as simple as it might be, that's how it is. We can't change the science. So I want you today, tonight, to really get out your pen and paper, write down, what do I truly want? What is going to make me feel what I don't feel maybe right now? And if you start to think about, yeah, I'd like some more money and I'd like to have more time. I'd like to be happy. I want details. That is not going to be helpful to you, because how are you going to know you're happy? It needs to be something tangible. A goal is a growth, not to get. So when I went for like my car, yeah, I wanted the dream car, but it wasn't because I wanted to have a car to go, haha, look at me in my car. It was the growth that I had to go through to allow me to get my dream car. It was the lives of people that I changed in the journey of driving the car. This is why so many people, when they go after goals, they get the goal and they're like, oh, I don't feel any different. Well, you won't, because you've got goal creation all mixed up. So today, ask yourself, if you want more finances, how much? And what would you love to earn every single month on a consistent basis? What would that be? Then the second question is, what are you going to spend it on? Because what I'm going to teach you on Friday about money is money loves to have a purpose. It will go where it's invited and it will stay where it is welcomed. But if you've got negative feelings about money, it'll be very hard for you to get. So you do not want to miss that lesson. But for today, think about what you want. Describe how you want your relationships. Describe in detail. If you want a dream home, what does it look like? How many rooms has it got? What color are the walls? What color is your sofa? Paint the picture today, because when you bring that picture back tomorrow, I'm going to show you how you're going to achieve that. What's blocking you from taking that quantum leap? So today, all I want you to think about is fantasy. If I could have anything, what would that be? All right? It has been awesome being here with you today. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please leave comments in the comment box below here in the portal, and of course in our Dynamite Effect page. If you're in the Dynamite Effect page and you're going, what is this portal? There's a link. Get it, get into it, because that is where we're going to be really giving so much incredible free content and value, because now is the time. If you have been using an excuse of time, it's not the right time, it's always the right time. You just have to be aware of it. So this is your waking up call. This is me going, it's time. This is the sign. If you've been looking for one, it's right here. You can also book a call with the team if you feel like, holy moly, I've heard enough. I want to have a consultation call with you guys. Please just click either the left or the right, not sure where it is in the portal. Book your call. We're not going to twist your arm. We're not even trying to do anything apart from help you discover what's going on. What do you really want? What's holding you back? How could you change that? So if you're ready and you want to have a chat with us, it's totally free. There's no obligation. We're here to serve you. And please book your call. All right. So guys, it's been great. I'm 4 minutes over. I apologize, but I will see you tomorrow at 12. We're going to be telling you and teaching you that success is a habit, and how you can now actually start to see what's been blocking you. If you've felt like you've been in your own way, tomorrow's going to make a lot of sense. All right. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.